If you want to kind of consider this part 2 or a continuation of what we talked about on Tuesday, for those that may be watching this later in the recording, what we're going to kind of go through is a quick walkthrough of the app again, and then we're going to get into some of the functions of a task.
Okay.
So if I bring up the mobile application, I'm going to go ahead and log in as one tags. First, when you log in, you have the kind of main screen of the application, quick walkthrough, today's info. This is going to show you any tasks that are assigned to the person you logged in under. I logged in under Joe, so it's going to show me his tasks for the day. It's going to show me the stops on his schedule, as well as any invoices that either he's created or that have been assigned to him for the day.
Okay.
With the quick access to everything that is pretty much on his plate for the current day. Route schedule is where the biggest change was. It's a little bit different from the older mobile devices, if that's what you're familiar with. If you're security level 2, you only see, just like the old stuff, you only see your route schedule, basically work that's assigned to you. So right now I only have one stop on the schedule for this user. And if I go into actions, here's where I would hit stop details to see information about this particular stop. I would see if this customer had any open tasks, if there were any route tickets created or any invoices created, all in one place for this stop. You can hit map to get simple turn directions. Just by hitting get directions, it'll take the text current location, different directions right to the customer.
Cool.
Now this is touch enabled, so you can do the pinch and zoom on a mobile device. You can even tap on any part of the directions, and it'll highlight that part for you on the directions, take you through it. So what a lot of our users are doing, especially if you're operating on the route schedule or you are in the pool industry, is you're going to create a route ticket for every stop on your schedule. So just like on the old mobile device of hitting generate ticket, if you're on the iPhone, or you hit the little ticket stub icon on the Android, you just hit create ticket. This starts the ticket entry. Unlike the old software, you can actually work on a ticket, save it, open that same ticket back up, do a little bit of more work, save it, and until you're done with it. You don't have to enter it all in one sweep. So the first thing we need to do once we've created the ticket is set our arrival time. So I'm just going to hit the little icon next to arrival time. It should take your current time, save it in there for the technician. Now what it also does behind the scenes is it grabs the location, the latitude and longitude of whenever that tech hit the arrival time. It will not let you save a ticket without the arrival and departure time either. So this will have to, they have to do this basically.
Okay.
So then I can just start working my ticket. I can go down to group 1. And these are where you have basically up to, I think it's up to 60 custom fields. You have 5 text fields that you can customize and use. You have 30 number fields that you can customize and use. I think it's 10 checkbox fields, 5 drop-downs, 3 dates. I think that's all of them. You can set the label. If a label is blank for a field on the desktop side, it hides the label on the web. That's why you only see, 10 fields are here in group 1.
So one would be the reading, and then what you added would be the next one, or off to the right?
Yeah. Yeah, you
or
can define
you
it
set it
however
up.
you'd like. Yep. Now the I
Now, can they start their third stop if they didn't put in a stop time for stop 2? I mean, does that have any effect on it as they're going through a route?
It's not going to let them basically complete this route ticket without putting in a departure time. Now they can save it and it'll stay open in the system, It just, you don't get anything at the end of the day until you've marked this ticket as being complete. And to do that, you've got to have a departure time.
They could go on to every stop on their thing and just have an arrival time, but not actually have put in a departure time and save the ticket or whatever?
Correct. Yep. You wouldn't get anything at the end of the day, though.
Okay. All right.
So I can go in and put in my values. Now the I here, and I don't have any history built up yet. I'm building it as I'm starting to do these training classes. As you do tickets with the new system, if I want to look at my chlorine reading history, I would just tap the I next to that field, and it's going to show me basically the last 4 chlorine readings. Or whatever field you click that little I on, it shows you the history of that field for the last 4 stops.
Okay.
You can then tap Group 2. This is where you'd have more custom fields, whatever you've set up. I have a drop-down set. I'll show you on the desktop side how to set these up in just a moment. The groups cannot be renamed. Right now they're static as Group 1, 2, and 3. The field labels and then the drop-downs, the options can be renamed.
Okay.
Group 3, I've got my checkboxes. Then I would go down, I could add line items to this ticket. I could add up to 3 photos. Or when I tap footer, this is where I can capture my signature, email, print the ticket.
Okay. Question about the photos. Is that, when you add a photo on there, is that a permanent one that stays on there, or is that just for the current day?
That's per ticket. You can have 3 photos per ticket.
Okay. So if they
on the mobile device,
so if they see something's broken, they take a picture and it sends it in?
Yeah, it's attached to this ticket. When you view the ticket on the desktop, you would see that picture.
Okay.
And Shane, to answer your question, no, we at this point, the only fields that are mandatory pretty much are the complete field at the bottom and the arrival and departure time.
Is the complete button also the save button? Is that when they go complete yes, that saves the ticket? Or is that something else?
You have the save. You have the save button in the top right. Now, it is set to automatically save. If you notice, like, let me. I'm going to go ahead and put in my departure time now. If I tap Group 1, you see the loading bar that shows just for a moment, the little loading circle. That basically saves the ticket. So I enter chemical readings. I go tap Group 2. It saves the ticket, basically the data you've entered as you're entering it. So basically every time you tap on a group to move on to the next of options, it's saved the options you previously entered. Go to the footer to complete the ticket. It saves again. If I go to sign, that would ensure a save as well. So I mean, you have a save button, but it's everywhere you go, it's saving it automatically for you.
So if they just click the complete and then go to their second ticket, that's going to have saved this without them clicking save, or they still have to do that.
Correct.
Manual. They don't. That would still count as a saved ticket and would show up, right?
Yep. When they complete the ticket, they have to tap on this footer to see that saves the ticket, and when they complete that, it saves it again. So they're always. You don't have to hit that save button. It is there to force a save. For the reason.
Okay.
Now, once the ticket is complete, you've got your signature. I could hit print, for instance. It's going to open up a print preview of that route ticket.
Okay.
I also hit email, and it's going to open up the default mail client. If you're on an iPad, you're on an Android, it's going to open up Gmail or the iOS mail. And start an email which gives the customer a link to that route ticket. So this is what the customer would get. And they just click on that to view that ticket, and they would see what you would get.
Okay. So they could view this ticket here, their total thing on their phone, if they hit print.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
So once the ticket is done, they've completed it, all they have to do is hit back. That takes you back to the route schedule. If you notice, since they completed it, it doesn't show up on route tickets.
Okay.
If they
So
had
now is this their
created
next stop, or is this the same one? Is this?
This is the previous stop, so they would go back one more time. And it lets, since they have done a ticket, it hides the stop in blue, letting them know it's been completed.
Okay. Okay. So once they save one, they got to hit back a couple to get to the next
Correct.
stop on the route.
Once they complete it, they hit back to go back to that stop detail, and they hit back one more time to take them back to the schedule.
Okay.
And then anything that they've completed is shaded in blue. They can either hit hide completed to only show the stops they need to go to.
Okay.
Now
Now, as far as entering the actual chemical readings and stuff, I mean, is that going to put a keypad up when they highlight that? Or I noticed in one of the first things he had like a little slide bar they could slide over. I mean, is that optional how we set those up?
The numeric fields are going, the numeric fields pop up the keypad, the text fields pop up the keyboard, the date field pops up a date select.
Okay.
So right now it's the standard text fields are just going to pop up the number pad on the device.
Okay.
So they can
All right.
custom put in what they
All right.
need.
Now, when you go to the desktop, I would hit sync mobile devices. To do a quick sync, I could just hit sync route tickets, then hit sync.
Okay, so that's all we need to do to grab all the completed stuff they've done? Because I know before we used to have to sync the phone, and then they'd have to sync on the computer.
Yeah, the phone, since it's a website, it's a web app, there's no syncing on the phone. The phone's in real time, the device, whatever device you're on.
Okay, that's nice, because before that was a pain, because if anybody forgot to sync their phone at the end of the day, you couldn't grab the data. So that's nice.
Yeah.
You'll be getting the data. If you hit that sync route ticket periodically throughout the day, you're getting the data as soon as they've completed it in real time.
Okay.
On our
That's
desktop,
good.
it's irrelevant whether they press. There's no sync button on the phone. It's just.
That's good.
All right.
Yeah. Once they've entered a ticket and they've saved it, you'll see it as if you hit sync. They don't have to do anything, which means for them, if you create a task in the middle of the day, you could assign it to them. You would hit sync. The next time they look at their task list, it's just there. They don't even have to do anything.
Now, say there's a photo on one of the route tickets or whatever, and I go into customer detail or whatever. Is that accessible through there? Where do we find those photos that they've saved on a route ticket?
It's actually on the ticket. So if I go to route ticket list after I've synced.
Okay.
10-4,
So there's no link. Is there a link just through an individual customer, like through the customer detail or anything, or it's always got to be through the route ticket list?
It's always through the route ticket. If there are any tickets, any picture route ticket, it'll be tied to that route ticket. If there are any pictures on a task, it's tied to that task. You, of course, could then save it and then do the link yourself.
Okay. All right.
Here's how
and those are stored now.
Works. If you let me show you.
Are these now stored on the phone? Go ahead.
No, they're not. They're not stored on the phone. I mean, if you take a picture, yes, the picture is stored on the phone as a photo. But if I go into the route ticket and I hit View Signed Ticket, any photos are going to appear on this second page of the route ticket.
They're going to appear. Okay. All right. Okay.
That's the only place they show up. From here, you could right-click, save picture as, and save it to your desktop. But that's how they're linked in.
How long is that saved on my computer? I mean, is this route ticket
you have
on the
forever?
Forever. Okay. All right. Okay.
Now my chemical readings came over. If I go to group 2, I had option 1 selected. Go to group 3. Here are the checkboxes that I did. So all the data comes over.
Okay.
Now to set up these fields, I would hit Edit Field Names on the top of a route ticket. All you have to do is open any route ticket to do this.
Okay.
Just hit Edit Field Names. Right now, the only thing we can really do here is change the label.
Okay.
of the field. In time, you can see we have other options here. We just haven't put it in place yet. You could switch the groupings. So say you want the checkbox fields to be in group 1, and then you could redo the order. That all is coming in time. And for right now, all you can do is just, I can relabel or rename the fields.
Okay. Now, are these field names stored somewhere else on our computer? Like if we want to have a cost analysis, like for a chlorine tab or whatever, where are we pull? Is this field name something that's made up in here, or is it something we're setting up on another screen? Like if I want to set up, chlorine tabs by the each, and they're, $1 a piece. Is that all coming from somewhere else, or?
We're in the process right now of doing the reports for these new out tickets.
So right now
we don't. Correct.
Okay.
We don't have any cost analysis. Now we're building those. We're taking our existing reports and restructuring them. It's just a lot of rework on our end, because imagine you guys can have this laid out any which way you need. So we'll be putting that into place shortly.
Okay.
So that simply is the route ticket. Real easy. I mean, it's simple. It's a lot simpler than the old stuff. And then Shane, hold on, I see you got a couple questions here. The first question I see: can the desktop be synced? Can the desktop sync be scheduled? We are working on it'll be a separate program that you can install on a server computer or one of your workstations that would just run in the background that would automatically sync at an interval you set. So that is something we're working on. We'll have that available to you, I would say, hopefully, first week or so of November. Definitely by the end of the month, first week in November. As of right now, no, it is one route ticket that is customized for your company to use.
Okay.
With the 3 groupings, you could have, for instance, an install stop has fields for group 1, a repair stop uses group 2. That's something you maybe could do a workaround, but right now it's whatever fields you set are for all people doing route tickets.
Okay. Yeah, they show up on the same. That's what we want anyway. It'd all be the same.
That was addressing Shane's question. He asked if you have different stop styles, like an install stop versus a repair stop, could they have different groups of fields? Which I definitely don't think that's a bad idea at all. Just like anything else in our software, everything you see here, John's been with us, I believe, for a while. He can tell you that we change this program. I mean, we add new features. We're always at it, trying to make it, the best for you guys. Now, the thing I really wanted to cover today was our tasks. We didn't cover this in the other video.
Before we go to tasks, can I ask you one thing about from in the customer list on searching for a customer? I was because we have 550 customers, and I was kind of having trouble, on how. I mean, like if I wanted to go to the Z's on my phone and punch in Z, it wasn't going to, the Z customers on the list. I was having to type in 4 or 5 letters of the customer name before it would go to that section on my list on the phone.
Correct. This search feature here searches for what you have typed in. It does require 3 letters to initiate a search.
Okay.
So you're basically searching for a customer.
Okay. All right. Because it wasn't always, it was finding every letter, mixed in with the thing. It wasn't going like to the first letters of the first 3 of the last name always. I mean, I was just getting some real weird search stuff up.
It's an in-string search, so anytime there's a Z anywhere in the name, the address, phone number, anything like that, it's going to pull up that customer. It searches every bit of the customer information.
Okay.
I would recommend that if you're looking for a specific customer, type their last name, and it would pull up all customers with that matching last name.
So it doesn't give any priority to the first letter of the last name.
Well, if you had names that, if you had 30 last names. Well,
like if I'm looking for Willoughby and I touch it. Yeah.
If I do ABB for Abbott, it's going to pull me up Abby, Abbott
Yeah.
first.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't always know the first 3 letters of the thing or whatever. It was a little frustrating on the search or whatever that I was having with it or whatever. With so many customers.
Yeah, I have 6,000 or 6,300 in this database, and it's the only way we can manage having customer lists, and we've got some customers now that are up over 10,000 in the list, and to manage this in a web app, since this is basically loading data over the internet, we're having to allocate for that. So it doesn't take a long time to load all those names, and trying to optimize the searching the best we can. I don't know if we can do anything to improve it, but I'll certainly pass something along.
Yeah. I guess I would just like to see priority to the first letter of the last name or something, what most of us search for by or whatever, and it doesn't seem to do that. I mean, it doesn't, it just, I don't know. I'll have to play with it some more, but I was just having some issues in finding the customers I wanted,
Okay. For our tasks, I'm going to go ahead and just create a task, because we can do a lot more with the task than we used to be able to. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to do it for a customer here. We can pick our task type, service call, maybe whatever the case may be. Again, you can always put in your task-specific notes. We could assign this to the tech. The biggest change is our checklist. If I go to checklists, I can actually load a checklist onto a task. You could do that before in the old app, but you couldn't actually do anything with it. The guy could see the checklist. Now we can actually complete it in the field, which is really cool. So if I set up my checklist, I have my task, I can go ahead and hit close. That creates my task. I then could hit sync mobile devices. I'm going to tell it just to hit sync tasks. And notice, depending on what I need to sync, I'm selecting that in the drop-down just so it's a quicker sync.
Okay.
There is an option to sync all, but it may take a little bit longer if you have a large or a lot of information.
So if you just added one task and you wanted to go to the field guy right away, you just come in here and sync tasks so it would go to him?
Yep, right away, and that took less than 10 seconds. I mean, that's, in my opinion, the easiest way to do it. Just like when you do your syncing with QuickBooks, once a day you maybe hit the top button to update the OCS, or excuse me, update the service program from QuickBooks. You maybe once a day hit sync all first thing in the morning to make sure all the customer information, all your item pricing, everything's refreshed all the way around. And then throughout the day, just do the sync transaction stuff, tasks, route tickets, invoices.
Okay.
Now, if I just right away, without doing anything on my mobile device, go to my task list, I see the task right away. The guy doesn't have to hit a button, do anything. It's there. We tap on the task, open it up. All the customer information is left on there. It's assigned to Joe, email, contact her, billing and shipping address or service address. I can do that same map to get that turn-by-turn directions right to the customer. Start time and end time, task type. I can tap View Customer Info or History to go right to Customer Detail, so I could look at any customer information, any other, basically if this customer had any equipment, the notes history. Back, it takes me right back to the task I was working on. Let's go to checklist. So now we can actually see that there's a checklist here. So if the guy wants to complete it, however he does that, did you check the attic? Yes. How is the customer paying? Check. Then you can hit save.
Cool.
Now again, you can do task type questions, they go up on the mobile device, any equipment that you selected on the task, rentals, you can add line item or billing, you can add your 3 photos. Let's see if I can get I may have a picture here on my computer. It may have nothing to do with.
Hopefully it's nothing too embarrassing for you.
That's what I was looking for, making sure I browse for the right thing here.
Yeah.
So when I attach a photo, on the phone, when you hit choose, it's actually going to prompt you, do you want to take a picture right now, or do you want to choose one from your library?
Okay.
You just hit save after add picture. And if I go back and look at my pictures, it should tell me that photo 1 was attached successfully. I have an option to replace it if I want to replace the picture.
Okay. And you can look at that picture on your phone?
It doesn't let you view the picture. I mean, when you take it, it's stored on the phone. You can pull it up in your phone's photo library.
Okay, but you can't choose, the service guy can't go back and look at it from that.
It'll be in your email.
Okay.
It'll be on the desktop.
Okay,
when you
all
sync.
right.
So if we do the sign, just like on the route ticket, it'll ask you, do you want to complete the task now? Hit OK, just like the route ticket. We now have I'm probably going to want to put in my resolution. This task we filled out, we've added a picture. I can hit back on my task list, and we know it, just like the old app, if you complete a task, it's going to disappear from the task list.
Okay. So now, if the service tech wanted to re-access that task entry, like you need to make a change, does he have that ability after he saved it?
At this time, he does not.
Okay.
Now, the route tickets and the tasks are, when they're complete, they're complete. The only thing that you're able to re-access after you've closed it is an invoice. If you create an invoice in the field and complete it, you can open it back up.
Okay.
I'm just going to hit sync tasks again. Back on my task list, if you notice, we've added a long time coming. We have a complete column now, so we can now see this is completed with the Y in there.
Okay.
Yes. If I open it up, I have the option. I can hit view, or let's first look at the checklist. So here I can see that the checklist, just like what the guy entered in the field, the X in yes, X in check.
Okay.
I could hit view signed ticket to view up. This is what he can email in the field or print in the field. And if I go down to the second page, you would see it in the picture I attached.
Okay.
Now, from the desktop, you have another way to access the pictures. You can just go to Images, View Service Call Images, and it's just going to show you for this task, Photo 1, Photo 2, Photo 3.
Okay.
Real easy. Again, I could post that to notes. There we go. Now, if I want to create a task in the field, I just have to hit New Task in the top right-hand corner.
Okay.
Create a task entry where the first thing I have to do is either hit this Select or Change Customer. So here I can again start typing a couple letters, and it's going to start filtering this as I type. When I select the customer, that then takes me back to the task where I've now have that customer's information loaded. The assign to is automatically set to the guy's name. I can pick task type.
So if he had completed a task and he had to do something else for that customer, he could create a new task in the field.
Yep. So I can go through my task. I don't even have to complete it. I can just today. I can go back. Now we got our, that task is now created from the web. All web tasks are going to still have the T, but it's also going to have a W in front of it. That lets you know it was basically created from the web. So it'll come into the desktop as TW1004.
Now I have a question. When you're under task,
go ahead.
I have a question. When you're under task list, is there a way to view all of your current tasks, or do you have to select which day that task was assigned? Because a lot of times we have leftover work orders from previous days.
Correct. If I had, let me create another task here. I had one from yesterday. I'm going to create a task, and I'll do one for tomorrow.
Maybe I'm not seeing all of it.
Well, he's putting in some multiple tasks so you can see how it shows up.
So I did sync 2 tasks to the web, and the one task that I created from the web now shows up on the desktop. But that's how my task list is going to be viewed on the web. So if I just go right into my task list, the first time you go to the task list, it shows you everything that's open. Just like the desktop, you then have the option to filter.
Because when I'm on my phone on the app under our account, and when I first go into task list, for starters, it doesn't have the correct date selected right away. It's making me select the date.
It's showing you the first date that their task exists.
You need to believe that one.
So right now, my task list, if you look at the screen, it shows you 10-3 because the oldest task on my list is dated the 3rd. But it's showing me all the tasks, one for the 3rd, one for the 4th, one for the 5th.
So if he signed on his phone on his specific account for Nick, only Nick's tasks are going to show up. But then if he signs under administrator on his phone, he would be able to look at all the tasks for the entire company?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it depends on how you're signed on the phone.
If you're security level 1, you see all open tasks. If you're security level 2, you only see tasks that are assigned to you.
Okay.
This is now kind of becoming, this is our kind of first step. We'll be shortly getting the portal. That'll be within the next couple days, really. The second part to this, where you'll have the customer portal where your customers can sign on and start managing their service history using this kind of similar web-based platform. And then we further adding in a web store, online store. Again, kind of furthering this web progression, and then later down the road next year, we'll be starting to see us getting towards a web version of the service program itself on the desktop.
Okay. Hey, while you're on here, can you go to the customer list? You guys changed something on the way you search for a customer on just the customer list. Can you kind of explain? Because we're not doing something right because it's totally different than what it used to be.
Correct.
You just punch in the last name.
Yeah, if I just type in a couple letters, ABB again, it works like the mobile device. It's going to show me any customers that have ABB in them.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't start showing the customer list like it did before up in there where you can kind of scroll down or whatever. You got to know the right 3 letters to type in.
Or you just, as you said, if you just type in A and I hit enter, it's going to show me all customers with an A.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If I do
So like if you
AB,
type in,
enter, it shows me.
see, now that's what you need on the phone customer list.
It shows me if I do AB, it shows me all customer A that have an AB. So just like the phone, just like the phone does.
Does the phone work the same way?
Correct. If I do ABB, just like I showed you on the phone, it shows me first direct matches, Abby, Abbott, Abbott, and then it goes to anything other Bell that has the ABB.
But you have to have 3 letters in this for this to work. If you just put in a Z, you just put in 1 letter and then hit enter, will it go just to those?
Yeah. It'll change anything with a Z in it.
Okay.
I don't have any customers' names that start with Z, otherwise that would be the preference first it should.
Because I don't think I didn't feel like mine was doing that. Like go into the because I have customers with Z, and I hit next. My Z, the customers with Z is not coming up first. That's what I was kind of wondering. Yeah. See on my phone when I punch in,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
When I punch in Z and hit enter, like just 1 letter, and then hit the enter, mine doesn't come up with the Z customers first. At least it's not doing it on my phone.
Maybe doing it basically alphabetically. The returned results are done alphabetically is what it looks like.
This should only be searching in the customer name, correct?
It searches customer name and address and phone number. So if you type the phone number in, it would search the phone number.
Okay, that's going to take some getting used to. Okay.
That's kind of what I wanted to cover, going over creating a task, using the checklist. Do you have any other questions for me, John? Are you?
No, I'm pretty, it's just, I'm still having some issues on searching for customers by their last name or whatever. It's not, I mean, when you were doing it on here, as you typed in Z, you were getting the customer, when you were typing in a letter, those customers were coming. I'm still getting, customers with A's. I mean, it's not, I don't know. I guess it's just going to take me some getting used to it on it or whatever.
Yeah, I would say the easiest way is if you're searching for a customer, just if you know a couple letters of their name, or if you know their last name, or if you know their first name, you can type that in to pull them up.
The problem is because some of our list is in by a account thing or whatever, and some of it's in by another, and I don't always know I might just know that it's, the customer name starts with an M or something, and if it's not going to the, that section of, with all the customers starting with M, then it just, I'm kind of having to carry a paper list or something to search them all or whatever, I mean, if I don't remember the spell, some of the names are pretty weird. I don't always know what the first 3 letters are, so that's, I'll figure it out.
Shane, do you have any other questions? Are you all set for now? All right. Well, I appreciate you all coming. We do have the afternoon class, which is simply a Q&A class over the entire program. Feel free to sign up for that one. That's at 2 o'clock Eastern. Other than that, everyone have a great weekend.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Michael.
Bye.